Hi there people, how's it going? I expect many of you, especially in New Zealand, have watched the shenanigans that have happened or have been happening over the past few days, weeks, months, but especially over the last few days in Parliament with the Te Pāti Maori, the Maori Party, and other politicians, radical Maori, super racist MPs who claim everything is racist, New Zealand is racist, and basically anybody that calls them out on their racism is indeed racist. David Seymour. Now, I've never really been a fan, well, I was once, to be fair, but I haven't been a fan of David Seymour for a few years. But on this one, I support him because he's brought forward what's called the Waitangi Treaty Principles Bill that wants to basically make everybody in New Zealand equal. And the government should have the right to rule. The elected government should have the right to rule. And everybody should be on equal footing where nobody has advantage over anybody else based on race. But in New Zealand, as I've said in a previous video, to say you want everybody to be treated equally in New Zealand is racist and far right, even white supremacist, even Nazi. Because these, it's got to be said, part Maori, they are mostly white with a little bit of Maori in them, these people in Parliament, these elites. I'm not talking about Maori per se, I'm talking about these elites who have got themselves into a position of power, got themselves in Parliament, and iwi elites. Iwi for them outside New Zealand is tribal elites. Are screwing New Zealanders. They are screwing us, and the media are screwing us. They have become so powerful over many decades, over successive governments, be it Labour and National, who have handed over billions upon billions of dollars, of land, of even our seas around New Zealand. Just giving it to them. And I have no doubt there's been much corruption that's happened and is still happening in New Zealand, where money, no doubt, it's always down to money, isn't it? You follow the money, has changed hands, and especially in politics and previous, maybe even the current incumbent Prime Minister, who knows. But New Zealand is being torn apart because it's a nation, I believe, this is my opinion, it's a nation in fear. And people who look like me, not necessarily sound like me, but people who look like me have got not an ounce of Maori in them, are in fear of talking about the issues because the media is against them. 100% the media. 100%. The media are bought and owned and corrupted by powerful elites, maybe outside New Zealand, who support everything Maori. And this is causing division in New Zealand. Obviously, the elite Maori say it's people like David Seymour, people like myself, and many others who are causing division, but it's not. Because all I've been calling for a few years now, and David Seymour is calling for now, is equality. Just equality under the law, but that is racism. Maori, I'm saying Maori, elite Maori, and radical extremist Maori, who are super racists. They want to be treated differently. They want their own parliament, they want their own government, they want billions upon billions of taxpayers' money to fund their side, and they want overrule over the other side's laws, which is going to be the non-Maori side. They want the veto, power of veto, and they want basically to rule New Zealand. 16% of the elites of 16% of the population want to rule New Zealand because they've got a little bit of Maori blood running through the veins, and they all have got less Maori in them than what they have Pākehā. Pākehā for them outside New Zealand is white European. We live in fear. The vast majority of non-Maori New Zealanders are terrified to open their mouths. Right now there's what Maori call hikois, protests up and down the country, calling the Treaty Principles Bill, which is brought forward by David Seymour of the ACT Party, is racist, and they want it thrown out, and it will be thrown out. It's not being supported by the Prime Minister, who's a coward. Chris Luxon is a coward, and he's legged it out the country to South America apparently, while David Seymour and others who support the bill are being attacked in Parliament. And even just the other day, the radical Maori extremists and super racists broke out into a very threatening haka inside Parliament, and they threatened basically David Seymour's life, all on camera, making gun gestures towards David Seymour, and all they got was a 24-hour ban by the Speaker of the House, who's another gutless coward, by the way. That's just my opinion. The media always cover for these radical extremists, and they call everybody else who want equality, everybody to be treated equally, and the government should have the right, the elected government should have the right to govern New Zealand. Anyone who believes in that is a racist, apparently. That's New Zealand. That's how screwed up this country has become. And it's become screwed up because people are in fear. People like me are in fear to speak up, because their lives will be ruined by these radical Maori extremists. Te Pāti Maori have become so powerful, and Maori lawyers, Waitangi Tribunal, who are just extremist lawyers and judges, they have such power, and they are radicalising Maori youth. They are radicalising non-Maori youth into believing that Maori did not sign the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840, and they didn't sign away their sovereignty. They did. It's quite clear. The Treaty of Waitangi is simple. It was made simple. They signed away their sovereignty to the Queen of England at the time, Queen Victoria. But now they say they didn't. And unfortunately, we got cowards, John Key before, and Jacinda Ardern. My God, Jacinda Ardern. And Chris Luxon. They say, no, it's a partnership. They didn't sign a partnership. It's a mess. New Zealand's a real mess. How is it going to be solved? I don't know. But I think these people, these radical extremists in government, I think they will take the steps to cause civil war in this country, and outside influences like the United Nations, who are fully behind them, WEF if you like, who are fully behind them, they will fund them. They will fund a takeover. They will fund a civil war in New Zealand. I believe it's coming at some stage. New Zealanders who are non-Maori, and there's plenty of Maori on our side of the fence as well, they better wake up and start openly saying, no, this is not happening. This is not happening. We don't want these radical extremist super racists who they hate people who are non-Maori. They literally hate. You can see the hate in their faces when they break out into their war dances in Parliament or anywhere else. They are full of hate, and yet they accuse everybody else of exactly what they are themselves. Okay, that's my video, that's my say. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please, like, leave a comment, subscribe, give me an uptick, share this video everywhere, and support David Seymour. Maybe supporting for Prime Minister next time round, because Chris Luxon, as many suspected, is a coward, a gutless coward. And I have no doubt John Key and probably Chris Finlayson is whispering into the ear of Chris Luxon. And they are like a shadow government, telling him exactly what to do. But that's just my opinion. Okay, this is Cross the Rubicon. See you later.